Hi all, welcome to session 10 of our Milestone Project. And in this session, we are going to complete our fifth task. So fifth task, as highlighted, is all about combining all the order numbers per region into one variable. In the last session, that is in session 9, we saw how we can filter the orders based on the region using filter activity. And we had four regions. So it was South, Central, East, and West. Okay. Now we have to combine all these outputs from all the filter activities into one variable. So we have to use a variable of array data type. Okay. And we have to use append variable to combine all these values into one array. Okay. So without wasting any time, let me go to my data factory studio. So this is our data factory studio, and we are going to keep enhancing our milestone 1 pipeline. Okay. Now before we start working on this pipeline, we have to start our virtual machine, because that virtual machine is going to give us the data. Okay. So as you can see, you have the virtual machine on. Let me go and refresh. I think it is incorrectly showing us off. Okay, let me start one more time. Fine. So meanwhile, we have to include an append variable, and based on that we have to like using that we have to initialize the value array type variable that we will be creating. Okay. Also, just keep this thing in mind that once you are done with your practice, either delete the VM or stop it, because it is going to charge you unnecessarily if you don't do that. Okay. Now I'm going to log in my VM. So this is my IP address. I'm going to pass my username. I'm going to pass my password. Fine. I have to rename this to make sure this file is having yesterday date. So it is 2nd of May 2024. Okay. Now let's run the pipeline in debug mode to see what we get. We are actually trying to see the format of the filter output. Okay. We are going to run debug, hostname, port, username, location. It is slash home slash project admin. ADLS container is sync, and it is variable output. Okay. So the pipeline will start in some time. In the meantime, let me go back to my data lake quickly and delete the already existing file there. So in the sync, I already have a file. So let me delete that. It is deleted. Order file is successful. So it is there now. Okay. Lookup file is also there. So it is now going for the filter. And our pipeline is complete. And now we have to see the output of the filter, because based on that we are going to append. Fine. So if you see the output of the filter, you get item count, you get filter item count, and you get the value. We are interested in filtered item count. So let me just copy paste this activity name, copy paste this attribute name, because this is exactly how we are going to give it to append variable. Okay. Now I am going to create a variable in the variable section of our pipeline, and I'm going to say orders per region. And here I'm going to say, I think I have already created order count. So let me just delete it. So this is going to be my array. Fine. So here what I'm going to do is I'm going to say append variable, and I'm going to say append east orders. In the settings, I'm going to use order, and in here I'm going to use filter order count from east activity output. Okay, let me just cross verify one more time how it is going to be shown. So I'm going to go into output, and I'm going to see the outputs. I'm getting output filter items count. Okay, so let me just use this. Fine, let me see the function, and I'm going to use this JSON. Okay, so as you can see, it is going to say that if we are using JSON, it is going to give us the value something like this. Fine. So here I'm going to use JSON, and I'm going to use concat. Okay. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pass a string to JSON, and based on that, it is going to, based on the string that I have passed to JSON, it is going to create the JSON object. Okay. So here it is going to be like this, east. Okay. Let me see one more time. How is the format? Fine. Okay. So it is going to be something like this. Okay. Comma, comma, and in the end, it is going to have the double quotes. It will be like this and this. I think it is good. We can run debug one more time to check if this expression is fine. Okay, fine. Let's try. Okay, I have to pass the project VM IP address again. 22 project admin slash home slash project admin sync variable output. Let's try. And if this expression works, we are simply going to use this for rest of the regions. Okay. If there is any error, we will fix it. Okay. So far we have reached till here. If condition is executing, it is done. Until is also done. It is now in the lookup. Lookup is also done. The filter is working. So let's see what happens. So if you see, all the activities that are successful are ticked with the green check marks. Okay, and you can see our append variable is successful. So let's see the append variable. Okay, if you go and check the append east orders, let it load the output. I am interested in the append variable output. Okay, it is not giving us anything. Okay, okay, so there is no output, but it got successful. Fine. So let me just create copy of it. I'm going to say orders copy append west orders. Then it will be append central orders, and in the end it will be append south orders. Fine. Auto align and fix. Okay. So let me quickly adjust the expression. So we have east. Then in the second we will have west, and here it will be west. Okay. Similarly, there will be change in central. So it will be central, central, and here it will be south and south. Okay, fine. And now in the end, just to see whether our append variable is working fine and it has the data in it, I'm going to simply call a for each loop. Okay, so what I'm going to do is in these settings, I'm going to go for sequential, and I'm just going to say display orders. Fine. So here I'm going to get the order count variable. Any activity, I will simply use a set variable activity. I will create a new variable, print message, set output. and I'm going to display the current item in the string format. Fine. So our display section is also set. Now let me just validate things one more time and I think we should be good. So here I am going to see the display orders. Display orders, in the display orders we have order count. Okay, in the activities we have the, okay, fine. So let's do the debug. Username will be project admin slash home slash project admin. ADLS container will be sync variable output. Let me reduce the size. So see, this is how our pipeline is evolving. Okay. Again, we are at this step where we are doing the copy activity. It is done. We are now on the until. Fine. It is successful. The pipeline has completed successfully. Let's see whether we are getting the output in our set variable activity of for each. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So we got east, then we got central, we got west, and we got south. Okay. So what we did in this session, we created an append variable activity. We already had a value order count array, and we just passed our filter output into that array. And after that, we use display and set variable to show. Okay. So let me go and update this sheet. And here what we did, we achieved this objective using append variable. And in the process, we also learned a conversion function. So, so conversion function was JSON and string. All right. So we are done with this step as well. Now, if you see, we are very close to achieving our objective in this project. We are at the last two steps and we have covered around, if I'm not wrong, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. There are only 4 activities that are remaining. So I think lookup is also done. Lookup is also done. So we are very close to having all the activities in our pipeline and we are very close to achieving our final milestone. Okay. So that was all for session 10. I hope you liked it. It was little heavy. I would say you go through this session twice. Just understand how I'm building the expression because that is the most critical part that we have done in this session. And based on that, share your doubts and feedback on my channel in the comment section of this video and I will try to help you out, okay, if there is any problem or anything. So that was all for today's session. Thank you for joining me. Please like, share and subscribe and stay tuned. Before closing everything, just make sure that you publish your changes and you shut down your VM, okay, and make sure you do not close this tab till this shutdown notification is coming to you. Okay, if you just close this right now, maybe the VM will not shut down and it will keep you charging. So make sure that make this a habit, that whenever you are done with your project, like whatever you wanted to do today, publish the changes and then shut down the VM. Okay, so thank you so much. Let's meet in the next session.